Today we are going to be talking about the difference between literal language and figurative language. You're going to be hearing these words more during your lessons, so we need to know what they mean and the difference between the two. If somebody is talking about literal language, it means exactly what it says. So for example, if you hear somebody say, "My little sister was playing with toy cars. She drove them over the carpet and the chairs. She even drove them up the wall," then that person is really meaning that that little sister took the cars and drove them up the wall. She really did that. So what she did was literal language. Now, there is a difference between literal and figurative language, because if you are talking about figurative language, then it means something other than its literal meaning. So when you hear that, when you hear something that has figurative language, you're going to think that it paints a picture. So for example, there was a bird outside my window. Its chirping and singing was pretty at first, but by the end of the day, it drove me up the wall. Now, that person really didn't go up the wall, but it paints a picture. Drove me up the wall just means it kind of made that person go a little crazy. They were annoyed with what was happening by the end of the day. So you can see over here with the literal language, I used drove them up the wall. And on the figurative language, I meant drove that person up the wall. Same thing, but one really was what it meant and the other was not what it meant. So when you're thinking of the difference between literal and figurative, when you hear it actually happening, that is literal language. And if that's something that really couldn't happen, but it's trying to tell you something else, it's painting a picture, driving up the wall just means that makes that person go a little crazy, then that is figurative language.